Hello everybody and welcome to Crochet, a Canadian crochet podcast. I am your hostess Claudia. Thank you so much for joining me today. I herald from the base of the Rocky Mountains in southern Alberta, Canada, and I love to crochet. Let's get started. So my sign fell off of the wall, which is why I'm holding it. Usually it's like roughly in this area, but since it's not there, there's just a big blank space on the wall, and I decided I still really wanted to use it, so here it is. Okay, so let's get started. This is going to be straight out of the camera, minimal editing. So we're just going to roll with the flow. Go with the flow, roll with it. I don't know, I just did a total misnomer there. Okay, a few episodes ago, you will remember that, or if you haven't seen a few episodes ago, go check it out, that I was making a Shifty adjacent type sweater, and I have finished it. I decided to pick it back up, and I absolutely love it. I'm not wearing it today because it desperately needs to go into the wash, and I didn't want to wreck it, but I wanted to show it to you, so to see how it worked out. The sleeves ended up being sisters and not twins, even though I was pretty sure that when I got started, this was the second one, that it was going to be that way. But all that being said, it's fine. Like, you can't even really tell, and it's so fun. Hopefully I can get a picture of it properly for Ravelry. I actually want to do a nice picture because it's super cute. So it is cropped, as you can see. The body is very short compared to the sleeves. The sleeves they fit all the way down to here, which is what I wanted. They're ever so slightly tight, but I think that's more to do with the fact that I did linen stitch here, and my linen stitch just doesn't have a lot of give, so that is that. But yeah, so yeah, you can see on the seam it kind of looks funny, but oh my gosh, this here looks so good. Anyway, I'm just tooting my own horn, but yeah, so I made this. I have worn it 3 times already. I don't have any issue with the fit. I wore it with a dress, which I wear, oh gosh, all the time. So I have this mustard colored dress that I really, really love to wear. And to get more life out of it throughout the year, I will sometimes pop a top over top, so it looks like a skirt with a shirt on top, but I wore it with this and it went with it really well, and the purples and everything just looked so great. So I love being able to extend wardrobe items that I already have. So that is one thing that I have done. I have to do a little bit of digging around down here now to find some of my work in progress items. So this is it. Oh, actually that's not true. I have another item that I cannot find it anywhere. So I have a sneaking suspicion that my daughter has taken it somewhere. And yeah, so if you follow me on Ravelry, you'll notice I put a headband up, and it was white, and it's crochet. I don't know, it's really pretty. It's just like a stitch sampler, because I love headbands. So I made it, and it has an elastic, hair elastic at the back so that it's stretchy and it doesn't yank on your head. And yeah, I have looked for 3 days. I can't find it anywhere. So I'm guessing it's in her room. So that's typically where stuff goes when it goes missing. So I would love to show you that. I will show you that when I find it, but it is something that's done already. Okay, I got a tiny bit of work done on my second sock, and I spilled a cup of tea all over it, so it will definitely need to be washed because it's a little crunchy right now, even though I rinsed it. So I just have to finish the rest of the cuff on here. Then I have the heel, and then I'm done. Last time that I was talking to you guys with this, where was I? I don't even think I had started the heel gusset. Oh no, I remember now. I had just started doing the increases for the heel gusset. So I was about in this green area, but yeah, so I made that much progress. I should have made more, but I haven't really been picking this particular project up. So there is that. I have a big one down here. I had another small one, but I'm just gonna have to find it after, I think. Maybe I only have the 2, I don't remember. It's okay. Yeah, waffle blanket is coming along nicely. I was here last time we talked, and I feel like I had 2-week break between last time I showed this to you and the time before, and I got about that much done. I don't work on this every single night, but I think this is probably what I can come to expect from myself for 2 weeks worth of work. So I have just started. I finished, we were probably on this color, I think, last time. We might have even still been here, but I added this color. This is medium heather gray. This is the darker charcoal gray, and then it's hard to see on camera, but I have a really dark navy blue, and then this is that botany teal from Bernat Premium that I've just started it, not even a full row in. So anyway, while we're here, we'll put the stitch marker on the row right up here. So of course, this is taking an embarrassing amount of time. It feels like it to me anyway. I'm sure, I don't know, I watch stuff back, and at times when I am editing and things, I look at things and I'm like, in the moment, it felt like I was silent for so long. And I'm like, oh, that'll be easy to cut out. And then when I'm actually watching it back, it's nowhere near that way. Like, it's not that bad. Yeah, so that's that. Nothing terribly exciting. It's just, it's coming along. I'd say I am I'm between 35 and 40% done. So that's really good. And I have my basket here. You can't see it, but I've got this so I can just keep grabbing colors. And then I have the space next to it that I fold this up and put it into it in the bookcase. So that's that. Wow, I'm flying through this stuff already. This is going to be a short one. The next item that I am working on, this is coming from my stash. It is, I wanted to make myself a little sort of lightweight tunic for summertime, and I am making this out of, so this is the really thin fingering, like, it's like sock weight yarn. It's wool-like from Loops and Threads. I can't remember the content. I want to say there's a tiny bit of wool, like maybe 20%, but there might not be any. It's definitely like a plasticky type yarn, but I've used it for other stuff and I really liked it, so I'm just using it now. This color is beige. I also spilt tea on this, and I'm not sure, you can see right here, I didn't quite get it rinsed out, but there, it was like all over everything, so I think I did a pretty good job. It should come out, but if not, I'll dye it a little bit of a different color. So I started using the yoke pattern that I made the perfect t-shirt, which is like that really pretty blue denim one that I had made. And so I started that, and I made the sleeves quite a bit wider than the pattern said. Granted, this is a different weight of yarn as well, so that makes a difference. I'm using a 3.75 millimeter hook from Susan Bates, because I really like this. I like the hookiness of this for this yarn, because it's fine and it's fairly slippery. Not crazy slippery like True Blue. That's a yarn actually that I really don't like because it's so slippery. It drives me absolutely crazy. So, drinking tea today, as I always do. Anyway, what was I getting? Oh yeah, so in the original pattern for this, the sleeves would have stopped about here. So this would have been the shoulder, and then you would add sleeves after, but it would only, like, this part would be like shorter. So I just added some more width just to give it a little bit more space, and around the bust and everything like that. So I'm going to do a few rows, not adding any size at all to it. Probably, oh gosh, probably 8 rows, I think, now. So that'll be easy to take care of. That'll be easy for me to see because I can just use this stitch set for under the arms to count my stitches. And I'm using a linen stitch or moss stitch, depending on what you like to call it. I find it, counting rows is so easy because you just count the teeth. And if you go diagonally, yeah, so. One thing though that I did different with this that I also did with the shirt is in the original pattern, and this is a free pattern, so I'm not giving away secrets. So you can see it goes down like this, which is awesome. So in the original pattern, you get to here, and then you chain 15, I think, something like that. I don't remember off the top of my head now, sorry. But you chain, and then you end up over here with your stitches. So it joins the neck, and that's how you get the back's a little bit higher than the front. But in the pattern, you continue going around in a spiral, and I don't care for that personally because you can tell the difference between a back and forth row really easily in a linen stitch versus a round and round stitch in the linen stitch. So even in her, like, I love the pattern, don't get me wrong. Even in her demonstrated one, you could see the teeth of the stitches went a certain way here, and then they just look different for the rest of the body. And for a lot of people, I don't think it would really matter because it's such a small part, like it's only about like that much that would be different. But I just, for a bigger garment, I just was not comfortable with that. So what I did is I do the chaining and I get to here, then I stop and I cut my yarn and finish off the edge, and I just leave it dangly for a bit. And then I turn it around, and it's quite noticeable in this. Oh, there's a fluff for some reason, but when I'm doing the joining at the back, there's quite, like, I don't know, it looks, I'm hoping that'll come out when I block it. Actually, it looks not that bad now that I'm holding it up, and probably since I rinsed it. But so I started, you can sort of tell right here, that's where I started. going back and forth at the back. Otherwise, you would just go back and forth at the front. So that's why the very, very top, I don't know, what is that? 3.5 centimeters is a little bit different than that. So yeah, I definitely want to wash and block this one because I think that will help. But even rinsing it, since I spilled tea all over it, has helped the stitch holes, I guess, in the back where I was able to get it off of there. So I'm going to continue going, like I said, for about 8 more rows and try it on and see how it feels. And then under the armpits, I'm going to start adding, because I want a very gentle A-frame for the skirt portion of this. So that's something that I'm working on. This is my car project right now. When the yarn is getting fiddly on my socks, such as the heels, which are coming up, you tend to take those for car things. I like things that are mindless because there's a lot of distractions and stuff around, and I want to make sure like I'm actually seeing my daughter and I'm not freaking out when she comes to the door, because sometimes if I'm like really focused on something and then she gets in the car, it scares me, and I don't like that. I don't like being scared. So yeah, this is mindless for right now. I like it. Socks are still great. I want to get that done for the next time that I post a podcast episode. So, you know, hope I won't just have this sock floating around all by itself for so long. So yeah, oops, I just dropped a hook on the floor, and like, I haven't done that for a while. So, you know, that's what I do. Sorry, to go back to the blanket for a second, I feel like I never show the hook. This is actually the one. So this is the hook that I'm using to crochet the blanket. It is a 5mm hook. I don't know what brand this is. There's absolutely no branding on this. Somebody gave this to me, but I really like this hook because I feel like it's a good mix of the Susan Bates and the boy hooks. I really like that. And the thing that troubles me is that because this was the only one, it was like, these were given to me in a bag. There's a whole bunch. That there wasn't any other ones. There was no case, like nothing. So it was just this hook by itself. So if anybody knows what kind this is, please, can you pop it down in the comment box below? Like, I'd love to find out what these are, and see if I can get it. See if it'll focus here. I'm not sure that it will. I don't know. It's this really pretty royal blue. It's upside down, of course. No, I'm sorry. It's not going to focus. My bad. Yeah. Let me know, because I really like these. That's that. Okay, what else can we get into? Okay, I have been meaning to do this for weeks and weeks and weeks, and I keep forgetting. But this week, I'm not forgetting. I made a note so I don't forget. So something I would love to introduce to this channel is a Q&A section. So in the comment or description box below, I have a link to a Google Doc form that you can fill out to ask me any questions you would like about crocheting or yarn that I would be able to help you with. And I really look forward to this. So I'm going to kick this off with a question that I was asked in person from somebody that I know that likes my podcast, and bless your heart, I love you so much. And I'm not going to name any names because I didn't ask this person if I could, but that is something on the form that you can say, is that if you're okay with me saying, oh, so-and-so asked, I will do it in that fashion. Otherwise, like, there's a checkbox like, yes, you can use my name. Otherwise, if you want, I will just say a viewer has asked, and then ask the question for you and then answer it. So hopefully that's pretty straightforward. You're not signing up for any newsletters. You're not signing up for anything. It's literally just a Google Doc spreadsheet that I have set up, and you fill out the form that enters the fields in. You're not going to get spam. You're not going to get anything. I do have in there, I have a field for your email address. The only reason that I have this is not to collect them. Once I've asked your question, I'm going to purge all of that stuff. It is so that it's to help prevent any abuse of the form. I don't really foresee that being an issue, but if, you know, for whatever reason, if someone decides that they really want to be abusive and awful, I would like a way to sort of like circumvent that, and that was the best way that I could think of for now, without getting like super creepy and tracking IP addresses and things like that. I think we'll leave that until it happens. I don't know, like my favorite saying, like, we'll jump off that bridge when we get to it. So yeah, it's not being sold, it's not being collected for anything. I have my security is up to date on all of my stuff, so your information is safe. I'm not selling it. You're not getting put on any lists. You're not having anything done except me answering your questions. So, okay, all of that being said, again, check in the description box. I have all the information down there. And if you have any more questions about that, please don't hesitate to let me know, and I'm happy to answer you. The question was, somebody had asked that about the conditioner that I was talking about. So this was quite a while ago. So something that people love to do, I am not very good at it, I usually just go and do my thing, is we block our items. I find I want to block items personally when it is natural materials. So that is things cotton, linen, bamboo, wool, yeah, I would say even superwash wool. So we block them, but we don't just throw stuff in the water and wash it in the washing machine, although I do that if it's acrylic because it tends to handle it pretty well. But yes, so we want to wash it, we want to block it, and conditioner is what my grandma taught me. So there are many companies out there that make wool wash, and it's more of, I think of it as like a 2-in-1. It's like a wash and a conditioner at the same time. I am not really concerned personally about washing to clean things when I'm blocking them, because I feel like it's not dirty. And oftentimes when you use wool as well, it's sort of like naturally repellent to grossness, I guess. So again, like it's not, I'm in my mind, I'm not washing it to clean it unless something has happened to it before I'm able to wear it, but I will block them. So my grandma taught me, yes, that you can put a cap full of conditioner in the kitchen sink and put cool water, like not cold, not hot. It should, like, I'm not exactly sure how to describe it. I will make up the sink one time, and I have a meat thermometer, so I'll see if I can get a reading on what the temperature actually is. And it'll be in Celsius because I have no idea about Fahrenheit. But it's like, it would not be comfortable to bathe in, but it's not ice cold water either. So yeah, you put the conditioner in there and you swish it around like crazy till it's all dissolved and everything, because you don't want like lumps of conditioner stuck to your garments. And then you put it in there, rest it for a little bit, probably, what do I usually do? About an hour, hour and a half. It depends on what it is. If it's something huge as well, like I don't really bother with that, but smaller items made of natural materials, for me, this is what I do. Or actually, it does work really well if you get really, really cheap, not very nicely made acrylic. You can do this as well to soften up the fibers, and it really helps. But then if you're using acrylic, you don't have to worry about agitating it. But when you're agitating something in your water, even with the conditioner or the wool wash or whatever, you have to be super cognizant that you're not like sloshing it around, because it causes, when you're doing all of this, that causes the fibers to open up, and then that poofs up the yarn and it does all of that good stuff, and then it starts felting it, because I've said this many times, it opens up and then it loves to make friends with its neighbors. So they really start making friends, let me tell you. So you have to be careful of that. But I like conditioner because you can find it cheaply. If you're concerned about how it would work for a garment, I would highly recommend doing a swatch and then doing a test of the swatch before you commit to any garments, because while I don't foresee an issue personally, I can't guarantee that every yarn has been dyed the same way, or that the conditioner that you would use is not going to do anything. So yeah, I would definitely recommend that for your first tests, if you want to try this out, that you absolutely knit or crochet yourself a swatch in the yarn that you're using, do the method that I suggested, and then do that. So then you can have a test, and then if all of your dye runs out of it like crazy, then you know, don't use that method, just use regular wool wash. And then, okay, so after you're done that, then you can rinse out your garment and dry it, and that's always a fun part. So I like to use a drying rack. I have one of those tree ones that's like this, so I lay the item across there so it gets air on all sides, and that seems to dry my stuff up well, and it doesn't smell. One thing I also like about the conditioner, and I'm not 100% about wool wash because I've only had a sample of wool wash one time, is that I like the smell, because I don't really enjoy necessarily the smell of wool when it's wet. I know some people really like it. I'm not that person, unfortunately, I'm sorry. So I do like to cover up the smell a bit. Once it's dry, I don't smell the wool smell as much, but yeah, when it's wet, I'm just like, ugh. So that was really roundabout way, but yes, water not too hot, conditioner very well mixed in. You don't want lumps because they will rest on your fabric, and I can't guarantee that it's going to be a seamless experience when you do that, or that you're not gonna have to rinse the daylights out of it. So yeah, very, very well mixed. Even if you have to mix it, I would say, if it's not mixing in the cool water, mix it in a cup of hotter water, not boiling, just to make sure that all the atoms and everything are working as quickly as they possibly can, and all the I wanna say cells, and that's not what I'm thinking. What is between the atom? Molecules, that's it. All the molecules are moving quickly. And that will help break down sort of like the lumps of conditioner in there. And then put that in and just swirl that around. That seems to work for a lot of stuff. So that would be something that I would try if your conditioner won't go. And I wouldn't use, if it's not good for your hair, don't put it on your clothes, like natural fibers. So yeah, like don't use shampoo because it's designed to strip the oil, all of that stuff, just conditioner. So I've never tried a 2-in-1, so again, I don't know. There you go. That's an example. I will keep it much more clear and concise next time, but I was just excited to introduce this idea to all of you, and I would love to see what we can chat about. So this is just a shorty. I am getting her done because it's been a while, and I'm so sorry I wasn't able to get done last week, but a little bit of a life update. So I have another part-time job that I'm working on, so my free time is quite limited now, and I think I will be only able to do this every other week because of that. I'm really gonna try to do the best that I can, and it's even gonna cut into the time that I have to crochet, so I won't have as much stuff done, but I still would like to be able to chat and see all of you guys. So that is that. So yeah, I'm still around to answer comments and questions at any time, but I just don't necessarily have time to sit and do these kinds of things. Even if it's 15 or 20 minutes, sometimes I have to just be really aware of how I'm using my time to get all this stuff done. And yeah, hopefully that's, you know, everybody can understand that. I gotta do what I gotta do. So that is that. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm really, really happy that we could spend a few minutes together, and any questions, you can leave them in the comment box. If you have particular questions you would like answered in an upcoming podcast episode, use the link below. I will indicate it, so it's very easy to find out. It'll be in the description box below. First line, ask me a question about crochet, and we will get going with that. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. You are so, so special to me, and I will see you next time. Bye.